Good morning. This is the Paradise Unicorn Priestess bringing you day 249 of A Course in Miracles, the Yin translation where we use female words. This would be September 6th if you're starting at the new year. The Antichrist. What is an idol? Do you think you know? For idols are unrecognized as such and never seen for what they really are. That is the only power that they have. Their purpose is obscure, and they are feared and worshipped both because you do not know what they are for and why they have been made. An idol is an image of your sister that you would value more than what she is. Idols are made that she may be replaced, no matter what their form. And it is this that never is perceived and recognized, be it a body or a thing, a place, a situation, or a circumstance, an object owned or wanted, or a right demanded or achieved, it is the same. Let not their form deceive you. Idols are but substitutes for your reality. In some way you believe they will complete your little self for safety in a world perceived as dangerous, with forces massed against your confidence and peace of mind. They have the power to supply your lacks and add the value that you do not have. No one believes in idols who has not enslaved herself to littleness and loss, and thus must seek beyond her little self for strength to raise her head and stand apart from all the misery the world reflects. This is the penalty for looking not within, for certainty and quiet calm that liberates you from the world and lets you stand apart in quiet and in peace. An idol is a false impression or a false belief, some form of Antichrist that constitutes a gap between the Christ and what you see. An idol is a wish made tangible and given form and thus perceived as real and seen outside the mind. Yet it is still a thought and cannot leave the mind that is its source, nor is its form apart from the idea it represents. All forms of Antichrist oppose the Christ and fall before her face like a dark veil that seems to shut you off from her, alone in darkness. Yet the light is there. A cloud does not put out the sun. No more a veil can banish what it seems to separate, nor darken by one whit the light itself. This world of idols is a veil across the face of Christ, because its purpose is to separate your sister from yourself. A dark and fearful purpose, yet a thought without the power to change one blade of grass from something living to a sign of death. Its form is nowhere, for its source abides within your mind, where God abideth not. Where is this place, where what is everywhere has been excluded and been kept apart? What hand could be held up to block God's way? Whose voice could make demand she enter not? The more than everything is not a thing to make you tremble and to quail in fear. Christ's enemy is nowhere. She can take no form in which she will ever be real. What is an idol? Nothing. It must be believed before it seems to come to life and given power that it may be feared. Its life and power are its believer's gift, and this is what the miracle restores to what has life and power worthy of the gift of heaven and eternal peace. The miracle does not restore the truth. The light, the veil between, has not put out. It merely lifts the veil and lets the truth shine unencumbered, being what it is. It does not need belief to be itself, for it has been created, so it is. An idol is established by belief, and when it is withdrawn, the idol dies. This is the Antichrist, the strange idea there is a power past omnipotence, a place beyond the infinite, a time transcending the eternal. Here the world of idols has been set by the idea. This power and place and time are given form, and shape the world where the impossible has happened. Here the deathless come to die, the all-encompassing to suffer loss, the timeless to be made the slaves of time. Here does the changeless change, the peace of God forever given to all living things give way to chaos. And the child of God, as perfect, sinless, and loving as her mother, come to hate a little while, to suffer pain, and finally to die. Where is an idol? Nowhere! Can there be a gap in what is infinite? A place where time can interrupt eternity? A place of darkness, set where all is light? A dismal alcove separated off from what is endless? Has no place to be. An idol is beyond, where God has set all things forever, and has left no room for anything to be except her will. Nothing and nowhere must an idol be, while God is everything and everywhere. What purpose has an idol then? What is it for? This is the only question that has many answers, depending on the one of whom the question has been asked. The world believes in idols. No one comes unless she worshipped them, and still attempts to seek for one that yet might offer her a gift reality does not contain. Each worshipper of idols harbors hope. Her special deities will give her more than other women possess. It must be more. It does not really matter more of what. More beauty, more intelligence, more wealth, or even more affliction and more pain. But more of something is an idol for. And when one fails, another takes its place with hope of finding more of something else. Be not deceived by forms the something takes. An idol is a means for getting more, and it is this that is against God's will. God has not many children, but only one. Who can have more, and who be given less? In heaven would the child of God but laugh if idols could intrude upon her peace. It is for her the Holy Spirit speaks, and tells you idols have no purpose here. For more than heaven can you never have. If heaven is within, why would you seek for idols that would make of heaven less, to give you more than God bestowed upon your sister and on you as one with her? God gave you all there is, and to be sure you could not lose it, did she also give the same to every living thing as well. And thus is every living thing a part of you, as of herself. No idol can establish you as more than God, but you will never be content with being less. This text reading is about the Antichrist, and as we know from A Course in Miracles, Christ refers to the unified, one, singular child of God. When all the parts of the creation have recognized their unity, this is the thing that the dream veils and seems to keep us from seeing. Being granted the lifting of the veil to see this is one of the things that we stand afraid of and is an obstacle to peace. We are too afraid to lift the veil until we have joined with our sister in love, as was described earlier in the Course. And this tells us that the idol is basically a false image of our sister. And as I have stated before, I am experimenting with reading when A Course in Miracles talks about our sister, having that not so much be a specific human or animal or plant or even situation or circumstance or thought, but all that is the present moment of everything that we think of as not me. And so each shard of God that has a perspective, their perspective is there's me and there's not me. There's me and there's everything else, absolutely everything else. And the absolutely everything else is your sister. So for each instance of a different perspective, of a different shard of God, is a different division between what is me and what is everything that is not me. And perhaps one way to look at an idol is form, seeming matter, seeming physical universe that is draped over everything that we think of as being not me. But then also our body, the view of ourselves as being a separate self, would also be an idol. And of course, everything inside of that illusion, how focused in you get or how panned out and big picture you get, it's all still anti-Christ. It's anti-unification. It's anti-seeing that all is one. It's allowing for difference. And it says later on in the text reading that the purpose of idols is to allow specialness. It doesn't use the word specialness. That word is used extensively in A Course in Miracles, earlier on especially. But that's pretty much what it's describing. It allows the separate self to seem like they have more of something. And it could be more good, could be more bad, could be more anything. But it allows for specialness. It allows for feeling different so that we do not see that we are all the same, that we are all just love. And the thing that keeps us attracted to the idol is that it keeps changing form. So it may take one form and then fail, and then it will simply change, like a chameleon, and take another form. The illusion never runs out of things to offer us that are different and unusual. Some are awful, some are fun, some are delightful. It's a mixed bag. And the belief that each of these separate selves that have their own perspective is that the idol will complete the feeling of incompletion and substitute for reality. They're seen outside the self. And we are told by A Course in Miracles that completion is found within, that we are already complete. This text reading says that the only real power that idols have is that they disguise themselves and they have obscured the truth about them. And that we believe in them because we've enslaved ourselves to ideas of littleness and loss, and that this is the natural result of not looking within for our certainty and our completion that is already there. And where does the idol live? Nowhere. It says, what is it? It's nothing. Where is it? It's nowhere. But where we see it is in the place that we perceive a gap between us and our other self, that here there be dragons space. That is the place in which the idol seems to be. It follows that when we close the gap, there's no place for the illusion of the idol to stand, because the gap is where it appears, like a mirage. The idol, the form that physical matter seems to take, the physical universe seems to take, it is the cloud that tries to obscure the sun, or rather it's trying to put out the sun, but it can't. All it can do is seem to obscure it. It is our effort to try to be more than God, more than love, to be something other than love. But there is nothing but love. Not love doesn't exist. It's all very well and good for you to say that, A Course in Miracles, but it sure doesn't seem that way to me. And that is what the lessons are for. When we do them, when we embrace the practices, it trains us to think differently. It reshapes our mind. It says that the idol lives in the part of our mind where God is not, but God is everywhere. So that part of our mind doesn't exist. And that harkens back again to early on in A Course in Miracles. When we think we are thinking, our mind is actually blank because our thoughts have not love in them. Even if it's the tiniest bit, it doesn't matter. It means that they are not real and that our mind is blank. And so we just need to remove the obstacle by continuing to offer it to the Holy Spirit, by continuing to offer up that we do not understand, which means we cannot judge, we cannot correct, we can't problem solve. So we offer it to the Holy Spirit to solve for us. In the text, after it declares that an idol is nothing, it says that it must be believed to seem to come to life. It is our belief in the idol that makes it seem so real, so solid, so having effects, so seeming powerful, so irresistible. A Course in Miracles is teaching us to withdraw that belief, to begin to doubt it, and to begin to have experiences that strengthen that doubt. Where it says in today's reading, the miracle does not restore the truth, the light the veil between has not put out. It merely lifts the veil and lets the truth shine unencumbered, being what it is. I read that as light is on either side of the veil, which means the light is coming out from our true selves just as much as it is shining back on us from the other side of the veil. We are the light too, and our sister is the light. The veil seems to stand between us in what seems to be the gap, and when it is lifted, the light shines everywhere and onto every other part of the light unencumbered. This text reading just comes right out and says it. When we withdraw our belief from the idol dies. So that's what A Course in Miracles is just trying to get us to do, to withdraw our belief from it, to give us every reason to withdraw our belief from it, to give us evidence that we can actually put our trust in. A previous reading says that nobody comes here to this place unless something in the illusion still holds attraction for them. And it reiterates it here. It says no one comes unless she worshipped them and still attempts to seek for one that yet might offer her a gift reality does not contain. So there is that lure, but we also talked about how the fact that we are here means that we are in bodies that can be easily seen and heard by other bodies, which means we have this opportunity to convey the message if we will learn it, receive it for ourselves, and share it. Perhaps those who are like the narrator have given up all attraction to anything that is in the illusion, so they are not here in bodies to be seen by other bodies. And so even though we are more enmeshed in the illusion, we are also in a position to hold out our hand to our sister in a way that our sister will perceive more easily. And after reviewing what is the world and the answer to that question following it, which is in the show notes, we go on to lesson 249. Forgiveness ends all suffering and loss. Forgiveness paints a picture of a world where suffering is over, loss becomes impossible, and anger makes no sense. Attack is gone, and madness has an end. What suffering is now conceivable? What loss can be sustained? The world becomes a place of joy, abundance, charity, and endless giving. It is now so like to heaven that it quickly is transformed into the light that it reflects. And so the journey which the child of God began has ended in the light from which she came. Mother, we would return our minds to you. We have betrayed them, held them in a vice of bitterness, and frightened them with thoughts of violence and death. Now would we rest again in you as you created us. Today's lesson reflects my takeaway from A Course in Miracles, that our task is to return to God that which we tried to take away and make into the ego. So wherever the ego makes its appearance in our present moment, whatever form it takes, whatever thought comes into our mind, we notice it and we basically grasp hold of it with our attention and say, I offer this up to you, God, to be returned, to be corrected, returned to sanity. I don't want this. I don't want to try to be separate anymore. I'm convinced, you convinced me, life convinced me, my continued experiences on the roller coaster ride convinced me. Please, everywhere I find the ego, I'm just going to pick it up and hand it over to you and say, here you go. Don't want it. Please correct it. Please heal it. And when that is healed, it isn't ego anymore. May this be joyful for us and not in any way frightening. Frightening is what we've already been through. And happy practicing.